Okay, so hello everybody. I welcome you in our new recording studio with a new video on how to get John Frusciante tone. For the last few days I have been basically sitting on the ground and messing around with this pedal, and I have set myself a challenge to recreate John Frusciante tone and all of his effects, or basically most of them, with only this multi-effect. To make it even harder, I decided that I will not use my Stratocaster, my Sunburst, with Technox pickups, but I will use this guitar. This is actually my first electric guitar that I got as a present from my dad on Christmas. And it's basically everything that you don't want to use while hunting John Frusciante tone. But fortunately, it has push-pull pickups, so I can make my humbuckers to act like single coils. The main problem with this effect is that you can't really use your leg while playing, because it has very little buttons to actually turn on and off the pedals. But I will show you a technique that I developed, and I hope this will help you. Another problem that I had with this effect was turning on and off the wah extension here. And being an idiot as I am, I discovered only 2 days ago that the wah extension actually has a switch here. But it's actually not a switch, it's just a button. So I had no idea that it is there and you can engage it anytime you need it. The main problem was the stupid rubber under the extension, which was too thick to actually engage the wah. But then I realized I did it on my Vox and I did it on my VH10 as well. I don't know why, but this is actually a pretty common problem with almost all the wah pedals, that the rubber under the switch or around the switch is too thick and the wah pedal actually takes too much strength to engage it. So what I did is I took it out, I cut it in half, I put it back in, and now it works. And to push my challenge even further, I decided to not use my tube amps, my tube Marshalls, but transistor Fender amp. So now I can show you that you really don't need any expensive gear to just play and enjoy the music of Chili Peppers. Unfortunately, I only have one camera and one microphone, so now I will change the angle. I will show you the presets I have in Zoom, and I will cut it with the clips. I will walk you through all the presets I set in the Zoom. I will explain you what I did, and I will cut it with clips with sounding examples. Of course, it will not sound like the 100% Frusciante tone, but it is what it is, and I think for $100 for this pedal, it's outrageous, really. As I said, I own this pedal for over 2 years now, and I am still discovering new effects and better and better ways to use this pedal. So for the amp, I am using a Fender Mustang V2. I am using a Fender Bassman preset, and EQ is as usual, treble is on 0, mids are around 7, bass on this one is actually on 0, because the Bassman modulation has a lot of bass on its own, so I have to dial it down on 0. Gain is around 3 or 4, and volume is just master volume on this amp. So first thing I want to say, I don't know why Zoom did this, but the pedal chain actually goes from left to right. So your amp should be on the right side, and then your effects. Now, the main problem with this was, as I said, the wah pedal, which I thought you have to every time engage it with this button, but actually there is a switch, so you can engage it with your foot. Now, another problem was that these buttons to turn on and off the effects, they are too small and you can't really hit them with your foot. So what I did, I made presets. Here is my cleanish, and when I go to right, I have distortion pedals, and when I go to left, I have my modulation effects. It's still a big disadvantage that you have to roll through your effects, but this is the most effective way how to use this pedal. So in the middle here I have a cleanish preset that basically only simulates the amp and it marshalizes my Fender. I was kinda switching between the Marshall 1959, which is basically plexi, and the Marshall JCM 800, which is Marshall JCM 800. I ended up with GMC 800 because I think it sounds a little bit closer. And all the other presets has always, again, the Z and R and the simulation of the amplifier, the wah pedal, then you can engage, and then the effect that you want to use. Okay, settings are like shown. Marshall 800, so JCM 800. Input is on high, bass, mid, treble, presence. Basically everything is on 0 because I have already set my EQ in my amplifier. Now the gain is on 35. I think that's the sweet spot for the crunchy tone, and volume is 69, of course. Okay, so we will start with distortion pedals. When you go to the right, there's basically the pedal that you use the most is the DS2, so I name it DS2000. Actually, for a digital multi-effect, it's really good and it's really close. The settings for DS2 are as follows. Gain is full, tone is 70, volume is 25, and comp is set on mode. When you go one more right, you have a simulation of Big Muff that I called the Big Ed. Again, simulation of the amp, ZNR, wah is there, and NIC Muff, which is simulating the Big Muff. Settings for Big Muff are sustain is 100, tone is 70. The balance knob is to balance your dry tone and your effect. So I have it on 100 to just simulate the Big Muff. And the volume is 55. And the last station on the right is Big 8 plus DS. So basically DS simulation and Big Muff simulation, and settings are the same. And again, the wah, which is in every preset. Okay, now we are back on cleanish, and if I go left, I have my modulation effects. The first is LFO Filter, and I am using this for Denny, California. Again, Marshall, ZNR, and the effect. Settings for LFO Filter are as shown. When I go one more left, I have my chorus, which is called CE 10,000. The settings for chorus are depth is on 40, rate is on 25, tone is 7, and mix is 60. I have already made a comparison between this and between the Boss CE2 Wazacraft, so you are welcome to watch that video. And the last on the left is the modulation that I use the least, is the delay. I actually only use it for Don't Forget Me song. It's the effect called delay, and settings are like shown.